Another egg video. Another egg-shaped UAP floating around as far as imagery goes. This one looks a lot clearer. The question is it legit? As where the footage from Barbara from Ross Coulthardt's News Nation report, that was the one floating around because News Nation is the legit news organization that's covering it. So when that was aired, people were like, okay, analyzing it, making their comments about it, their thoughts, whatever it might be. This one popped up on Reddit. Does that necessarily mean that it's not legit? No. It's going to be, people are going to be more skeptical. People are skeptical in general. I mean, look at the stuff. It was a tough, you couldn't really tell the Barbara one. I think that they thought that one was more substantial than maybe it really was. Not that it's not legit, just as far as like, oh, well, that looks like something. So these pics are going around. We're going to talk about that. So thanks for being here today on the show, Down to Earth with me, Kristian Harloff. Make sure you comment, click like, subscribe, do all that. I thought today was going to be our a longer episode with Ryan Graves. To no one's surprise, the man is busy this week with a lot of stuff going on in this community. So he's got some things that he's working on, but we're looking to get it done this week. And as soon as I do, record it, get it edited, I'll get it out to you guys. Someone I'm really looking forward to talking to. I've been looking to talk to. He's been, there's like a wish list, the people that you want to talk to in this community in general, right? And he's on the top of my list. So I'm excited to talk to him. I think what he's doing for this, not just for the community, but for pilots and everything else too, it's going to be a very interesting conversation. So make sure you tune into that one. I'll definitely ask him about this footage, about these pictures, about what this is, because I don't know what the hell this is. I have no idea. Let me play this. Now the account, it's floating all over the place, but the account that I noticed it on was ProPixel Video Analysis and Research, who tweeted it out. And this is what they wrote. All right, so there's a video to go along with this, and I'm going to play some of it, but ProPixel Video Analysis and Research writes up top here, I am 99.2% sure these photos of this egg are real. My analysis is more significant than the videos that we've seen in my mind if these are real UAP eggs. So here's some of the footage and a little bit of the dialogue behind it, but there you see kind of the images. Hold on.
All right, let's get to the pictures that came out. This was posted on 4chan, and the story behind it is just some anonymous person threw it out there. It basically says, it's all going to come out anyway, so I don't really care, is really the tone of everything. He said he was LARPing during this, but honestly, all of his answers were more like, I just don't care, right? If they catch me, they catch me, is the feeling that I got from it. Even if he was LARPing, I got to tell you, this is extremely interesting stuff. These two images are completely tied together, and they have something not unique to folks who have experienced seeing an object up close and firsthand. Number one, in this right shot, you have what appears to be hieroglyphics on it, and I can probably estimate that it goes all the way across and it's completely covered in them, right? It's the fact of the matter is this is blown out from the strobe, and we're going to get into that a little bit. And then this is the same image. Not the same image, same object in the same setting. So let's get right into that. Why do I know this is the same object in the same setting? If you look down here on the bottom right corner, you can see like a fan of stone pattern, and that same fan of stone pattern is over here. And then right here, there's like a little flute that's leaning off to the right and up, and the same flute is leaning to the off and right here as well. And along with that, the rocks hanging, the rock formations hanging from the ceiling match too. It's like 1, 2, and it's like on that angle there. It's the 1, 2, and it's on that angle there. This is behind that. The angle is different when they're taking this photograph. They've moved over to the right, so that puts this more behind these two right there. And then here's this one here, and here's this one here. So this is the same setting, right? The same object in the same setting. Let's just talk about the pictures. this is, I've done photography for 40 years, right? Actually 38 years. I started when I was 12 years old. And so I know what to look for here. And obviously when I started back then, I did many years of film photography, and I believe this is film. And the reason that is because we have a light leak over here on the right. And this light leak gives us a very big piece of information. That right there is telling me that this is not fake, right? It's not AI, because AI is not good at replicating the entire environment over and over again, at least not yet. So there would be some differences there. Whoever would do this, I can't imagine that they would think enough to put a fake light leak in the image. And this leak looks really good. I mean, this is what they look like, right? That is what they look like. That's when that happened to me. And it happened a lot. This is what it looked like. The source of the light, this is an off-camera flash. So this is not a pocket camera. This is somebody came in here with the intention of taking a very high quality photo. So somewhere on the planet right now, these photos exist, and they are extremely high quality. And these are pictures of what appears to be, actually the guy said, or the anonymous person said, it was photos off of a laptop, and this makes sense. It looks like that to me. And just the patterning, right? That's what you expect to see when you take a picture of a laptop. So yeah, this is significant. These are honest to goodness images. I am like 99.99% sure these are real images of a real object somewhere in a cave.
All right. So first of all, props to my dude there for doing the breakdown of that video. I put a link to his Twitter account there. You can probably see the full video, and he breaks down it, and you'll see I kind of chopped it up a little bit too, because I wanted to you go and check out his full video. I wanted to get the main points there of what he's saying. I don't know what his full credentials are. He's looking at it, and the points that he's making about the shadows and other things are make sense to me. And the idea is, what were they doing down there, right? That's the question. What were they doing down there? What were they looking for? Now, I think that there's another report that came out recently. I don't know if it's connected. You guys can tell me in the comments that there was also footage of an egg-shaped craft. I believe it was this one, obviously, I think found in a cave. And then there was more stuff connected to it that seemed a little more woo-woo to me at the time. Again, not discounting it, not saying it's not real, but when it started to get into that there was something that was actually contacted there that had been there for years. It said that humans were created by NHI, and they were here to take resources and all that. And that's, to me, right now, that stuff's too much to handle. I'm not saying that any of it isn't true. I'm just saying the first things first is find out what this is. Because I think that when you get into that report, when Barber was on Ross Coulthard and he was talking about spirits and other things, and things that he felt, not negating any of it, not saying any of it isn't true. It's hard for people who don't even necessarily know what the hell we're looking at with these objects in general to start going that far out. I have my ideas. I have my hopes. I have my thoughts of what I think all this stuff could be. But I do think that there is a process that needs to come in with it of, because there's always been that conversation of, do you dump out all this information and just tell everybody the truth right away? And people are like, well, you can't, because people can't handle it. I think in a certain aspect, it's true, but not in the way you think. Some people think that, people would get panicked, they get scared, they do this, and maybe some people would. But I think initially, when you put this kind of stuff out right away, without any concrete proof that it is all legit, people are just going to scoff at it and say, okay, sure, right. What Spielberg movie was that? It's a matter of gradual. And I think that this is the type of stuff that is gradual, right? Like what this guy's talking about and the actual shape of it itself. I mean, this is the type of image, though. Like, again, just going back to this. That's the type of image I wish I would have seen on News Nation. Because if that was the one, now I'm not saying that right away people are going to go, oh yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's a UFO. Some people can say, well, it's a rock. It is it's just an object that's this. Who knows what that is? It doesn't mean it's UAP. It's clearer though than what we saw with the string attached to it. Now, coupled with that video, I hope that this one starts to make the light of day too. And this is what I was talking about, though, yesterday on the show, which I was a little, I guess frustrated is probably the best word. More so at the way that the community acts and implodes within itself. This is not anything that is happening, but something that I could see happening. Again, no proof of this, but let's say this is a legit photo that was leaked, but the players in the game, the powers that be on this side of it, say, well, they didn't come talk to us. We can't prove that it's true. We're not even going to look into it because they didn't come to us. We didn't do it. So our video is the one we want everyone talking about. So we're just going to ignore this. I'm not saying anyone said that, but you could see it happening. I would think you would track down whoever the hell this is, if it is indeed what this guy said, where it's somebody who's just frustrated, doesn't give a shit if he gets caught at this point. Well, get that guy on camera now. You know, find out their credentials, find out if it's legit, and put them on camera now before the shit goes down. And do the interview with it, find out what it is. If they don't care and they want to spill the beans, let them spill the beans. Find out exactly what it is. Do the research on it. If I'm Gary Nolan, if I'm Ross Coldhart, if I'm Jeremy Corbell, if I'm any of these people, I'm tracking down this photo and trying to find out who it was. Who did this? Talk to us. Let's figure this out. Let's get you on camera. Let's talk about it. If that is indeed the case. Maybe he did reach out. Maybe he did. And maybe it's one of those situations where like they can't validate the actual credentials. Maybe it's someone who just found a picture in the same way that Logan Paul has that video or whatever it might be. So there's a lot more that goes into it. I'm fully aware of it, and you're fully aware of it. But this is interesting. And will more photos and images like this one be released? Because I can tell you that even though this is a more clear image than what we saw, already the feedback, and I think rightfully so, on Twitter and other places that see this is like, that's AI. This guy says, no, it's not AI because of the way that you could put it together. That AI can't recreate that stuff and put that out there. So everybody will always say AI first, right? Now, I'm not necessarily saying this guy's right. Again, I don't know all of his credentials. Could be AI. But I'm leaning to say that maybe it's not. And if it's not, you see people who are saying, okay, well, what is it then? How come these things are leaked? Why was it leaked on Reddit? It's all those type of conversations. But I wonder if, because of the interview with News Nation, the person on the other side was like, okay, well, I've been sitting on this forever. I've had these forever. I'm letting it loose. I do always wonder why it's released on either like a Twitter Spaces or Reddit or anything along the lines and not having a full-on sit-down conversation. Why not call Leslie Kane? You know? And again, maybe it's one of these things where it's like they just want to, I don't know. Even hearing myself say it, I don't really know the answer to it because there's just so much involved in it. So I ask you guys, what do you think about this thing? Is this legit? Is this nonsense? Put your thoughts in there. Let me know. Is this the start from where Ross Coldhart said things were, going to heat up in the beginning of 2025? Is this part of it? Did he know this was coming out also? That's the other side of it too. Maybe, as I mentioned, you don't want the community to implode in itself. Maybe it's not. Maybe the community is actually helping each other out, knowing which way is which. Because talking about the imploding part of it, I talked about it, the other day, and I was curious. I guess Stephen Greer on the side of Ross Coldhart, and clearly the answer is no on that because Coldhart was called out by Greer yesterday, talking about, and we'll probably cover this maybe later on in another video, just talking about how it was a circus, it was this, it was that, and that's the kind of shit that doesn't help. It just doesn't help. Like Greer fights with Lou Elizondo, Greer's fighting with Ross Coldhart, and Ross Coldhart is fighting with this person, Jeremy Corbell is fighting with that person, all in the same thing, and it's like, it is so exhausting. I flip past all that stuff so fast because I'm just so exhausted by it, and in the world that it's not going to help anything. I don't know what any of them think it's going to do. It's just going to make people like laugh and go, look at these people fighting over UFOs, and instead of them working together. Self-gain though, right? I guess that's what it comes down to. Anyway, I want to know your thoughts on this. Please put your comments out there. Let me know. What do you think of these videos? Do you think that they're legit? Do you think someone will come forward? Do you think they'll be proven as nonsense? What are the naysayers saying about it? Have the naysayers already debunked these things? You guys tell me sometimes when I'm looking at footage, like, no, this has already been debunked. And don't tell me Corridor Crew did it. Corridor Crew debunks everything. You can have a picture of me sitting here, and they go, that's not real. So and I love Corridor Crew, but I don't know. Let's talk about, let's see. Maybe they did say it. If the Corridor Crew did debunk this, tell me what they said and why it was debunked. So I do want to hear it. Thanks for joining us here today. I really appreciate it. I might do another video a little later on. I'm not sure, but thanks for being here. Links in the description for this guy's channel, so you can go check him out. And that's it. Subscribe, hit that button, click like. See you later.